every second of every day. Your brain performs one task more important than almost anything else. It does it thousands of times. You never notice it. Yet your entire experience of reality depends on it.
That sounds impossible. What could my brain be doing every second without me realizing it?
Most people think the brain works like a camera. The world happens first. Then the brain observes it. Simple, logical. Completely wrong.
Wait. If my brain isn't simply observing reality, then what is it doing?
It predicts reality. Before reality arrives, every sound, every face, every movement, every conversation, your brain is constantly trying to guess what will happen next. At first, this sounds unnecessary. Why predict something when you could simply wait and see? Because in nature, waiting was often too slow. Imagine walking through a forest 100,000 years ago. Something suddenly moves in the bushes. If your brain waited for perfect information, the predator might already be acting. Prediction became survival.
So my ancestors survived because their brains guessed first and checked later?
Cycly. Natural selection rewarded brains that predicted danger before danger fully appeared. Most predictions were tiny, almost invisible, but together, they dramatically increased the chances of survival. That ancient system still exists today. The world transformed. Cities replaced forests. Cars replaced predators. Artificial intelligence replaced campfires. But your prediction engine...
But if my brain is constantly predicting, doesn't that mean it's wrong all the time? Surely reality can't always match the prediction.
Exactly, and that's the fascinating part. Your brain is constantly making predictions, then comparing them with reality. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every surprise becomes an update. Your brain is learning every second you're alive. Imagine catching a ball. If your brain waited until the ball actually reached your hand, you would almost always miss. Instead, it predicts where the ball will be before it arrives. Your body reacts to the prediction, not the present.
So I'm not reacting to reality. I'm reacting to my brain's best guess about reality.
Precisely, and this doesn't only happen with moving objects, it happens with people, conversations, music, language, even your own thoughts. Prediction quietly shapes almost everything you experience. Think about reading this sentence. You aren't processing every single layer one by one. Your brain predicts the next word before your eyes fully recognize it. That's one reason reading feels so effortless. Prediction speeds everything up.
That's incredible. Which means my brain is constantly living a tiny fraction of a second in the future.
I do where this has a face that exactly required the first 2 Gs of a this. Examples in not teaching media. Makes sense too weak as a source. Predicting too slowly often ended it. This also explains something strange about anxiety. An anxious brain predicts danger everywhere. Long before danger actually appears. Sometimes the prediction is correct. Sometimes the prediction becomes the problem itself. And perhaps that's the first hint that prediction has two faces. It can save your life or completely distort the way you experience reality. The same ancient system that protected your ancestors can sometimes become your greatest obstacle today.
Can prediction really change reality that much? I understand catching a ball, but people, conversations, my entire life, that seems like a stretch.
Think about meeting someone for the first time. If your brain predicts they're friendly, you'll probably smile, speak more openly, interpret their actions positively. But if your brain predicts they're dangerous, you'll notice completely different things. The prediction quietly changes the experience. Psychologists have studied this for decades. The expectation often arrives before the evidence. Then the brain begins searching for proof that its prediction was correct. Information that agrees feels important. Information that disagrees is often ignored. Without realizing it, your brain becomes the lawyer defending its own prediction.
So that's why first impressions are so difficult to change. I'm not just seeing another person, I'm seeing my own prediction of them.
Exactly. And the same thing happens with pain. If your brain predicts something will hurt, the pain often feels stronger. If it predicts you're safe, the exact same experience may feel much less painful. Expectation changes perception. Doctors have observed this for years. Some patients improve after taking pills that contain no medicine at all. Others experience side effects from treatments that were never actually given. The body responds, not only to reality, but to prediction.
That's unbelievable. So my brain isn't just predicting the outside world, it's predicting my own body too?
Yes, your brain constantly predicts your heartbeat, your breathing, your balance, your movements, your emotions. Most of the time, the predictions are so accurate that you never notice them. Reality feels effortless. But occasionally, the predictions drift away from reality. That's when illusions appear. Misunderstandings happen, arguments begin, anxiety grows. Not because the world changed, but because the prediction did. Which means something extraordinary. Two people can experience the exact same event and leave with completely different realities. Not because either person is lying, but because each brain arrived with a different prediction, and each brain quietly built a different version of the same world.
If prediction shapes so much of what I experience, how do I know what's actually real? Where does reality end? And my brain's prediction begin?
That's one of the biggest questions in modern neuroscience. Your brain never experiences the outside world directly. Light enters your eyes, sound enters your ears, pressure reaches your skin. Your brain receives tiny electrical signals, then builds the world you experience. Reality is constructed, not simply received. Imagine watching a movie where half the frames are missing. Your brain would automatically fill in the gaps. Reality works in a surprisingly similar way. Your senses collect incomplete information. Your brain predicts everything else, most of the time. You never notice.
So the world I experience is partly outside me and partly created inside my own head.
Perhaps that's the most dangerous thing your brain does every day. Not predicting. Believing its predictions without questioning them. Sometimes they're brilliant. Sometimes they're life-saving. Sometimes they're completely wrong. Yet they often feel equally convincing.
Which means every argument, every misunderstanding, every first impression, every fear could begin with a prediction that never gets questioned.
Perhaps that's why awareness errs so much. You cannot stop your brain from predicting. It has been doing that for hundreds of thousands of years. But you can pause before believing every prediction. That tiny pause changes everything. The next time someone disappoints you, the next time anxiety appears, the next time you instantly judge another person, ask yourself one simple question. Am I seeing reality? Or am I seeing my brain's prediction of reality? That question may change more than you imagine. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. Your brain doesn't simply observe the world. It quietly builds the world you experience. Every second, every conversation, every memory, every fear, every hope, long before you realize it's happening. Every day. Your ancient brain predicts thousands of moments before they happen. Sometimes those predictions save your life. Sometimes they quietly shape the way you see the world. If this story changed the way you think about reality, choose one of the videos on screen. Because prediction is only one of the hidden systems still shaping modern human life, and we've only just begun uncovering them.